Hello everyone! Welcome back to our study session with Melanie. So disclaimer lang no, ang ating ginagamit ngayon ng mga learning materials is coming from a research by Jean Magaversa, something like that. It's all about Philippine mythology. So as of now, we are continuing the epics of Mindanao. So saan na tayo? Wala. We're done with the Luzon and Visayas. Dito naman Mindanao tribe. So mahaba-haba to guys. Okay, so I hope we will finish this not longer than 30 minutes. Pero wala po. Anyway, these are the list of Mindanao tribes and their epics. Well-known, recognized epics. Okay, we have the Tatuang or Tuwaang by Arsenio Manuel. So I don't know if he wrote the no, he doesn't wrote the epic itself, pero isa siya sa mga nag-discover sa Tuwaang na may ganun pala na epic. So yun, Arsenio Manuel. For the Manobo, we have the Oligingin and Sele. Mandaya and Mansaka, they have the same epic, which is the Diawot or Dawot. Palawan naman sa Tagbanwa or Palawan, they have the what they call Dagoy and Sudsud epic and Tultul epic. Bukidnon, they have the Olaging or Owaging, depende yan sa dialect. And then the Subanon or Pulangion and Saka tribe, they have various epics, but we will give you examples of Sabanan epics later on. Sa mga Muslim groups naman, we have the Maranao or Maranao tribe. We have Bantugan, written by Brian Saludes. And also we have the Daramok Babay. Yan ang sequel ng Bantugan at saka Darangan. For the Kapelogo or style ng kanilang epic, so when you do an epic kasi or long narrative poem, folk narrative, sa Maranao, they have this different style or Kapelogo. Yan yung style. Ibig sabihin, yung Kapelogo means style. So ito, for Darangan, fast pacing. So mabilis siya na epic. Sa Bayok or Baiok, mabagal naman to na epic. So it will be, come to think of ritual na malumanay, slowly but intense ba. So yun. Ito naman Dekir is high pitch. So yan ha. Darangan, Baiok at saka Dekir. For the Maguindanaon tribe, we have the Indarapatra at Sulaiman. That is, you can find it on Bartolomes del Val. I don't know if he wrote it, but let's confirm it ha, para wala na tayong ano ba yan? Pagkain yung ko. Hindi pala siya nakaka-copy guys. So Indarapatra and Sulaiman, sikat din yan na epiko. I think Indarapatra, mamaya ko na i-discuss, okay? As of now, listing lang ng ating mga epics. So let's proceed to the Sulu tribes or mga Tausug, Sama at saka Bajau. They have what they call Bidasari. It's a princess. Mostly sa Malay region na tayo nag-derive. Influence, yes. And parang Sabil. So, before we tackle each of the epics, let me share to you the oral narrative terms by ethnic groups. So, magkaiba ang folktale, magkaiba ang ballad, magkaiba din yung epic. Okay? Sa folktale terms, you have here the Nanangon or Bukidnon, sa Bukidnon. Kata-kata sa Tausug, Tutol for Maranao, and Susumaton sa mga Samareño. And hindi ko to gawa-gawa guys nandito, na-mention to sa research ni Jean Gaversa. You should check it out, Philippine mythology. And next, we have the ballad term. So yung folktale is parang stories, no? Stories siya. Ang ballad naman is mostly a chant or through a song, no? Idangdang, liangkit sa mga Tausog, Saliada sa Mansaka, Tenes-tenes para sa mga Bajau, Tudom para sa mga Mandaya. So, ito namang epic terms. Halimbawa na yung mention natin kanina. Special mention, yung Olaging at saka, or Owaging sa mga Bukidnon at saka Dibabaon Mandaya is for, inspired by a diwata, no? Para sa isang diwata, yung Uwaging na epiko na yan. So, ayan. Yan din, ang Uyagingin din is for a diwata too. Tultul is Palawan. So, ato anong pagkakaiba? Di ba na-mention ko kanina yung mga folktales? Halimbawa ng folktales at saka ballad. So, anong pagkakaiba ng dalawang yon sa epiko? So, listen carefully or di kaya look carefully on the screen, no? So, you can rate it. Okay. Features of the Philippine epic. So, number 1, ang kaibahan ng isang epiko ay may sheer density ito, or may mga length ng isang epiko, no? So, epics are long, okay? Long po ang epics, hindi po siya isang short story kagaya ng mga pabula or kagaya ng isang hindi siya kagaya ng isang riddle, hindi siya kagaya ng isang salawikain or kasabihan. It's an epic, poetic, no? Parang ganun. And long. So, detailed and rich in content. So, meron tayong tatlong tinatawag na klaseng epic that depends on their density or kahabaan. We have the micro-epics. Na paano natin masasabi, ma'am, na kapag ang isang epiko ay micro? Well, kapag ang kanyang linya ay ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 line. And take note, complete story na yan or song. So again, ang isang epiko, it is a combination of a story and a song and a poetic then. Okay? So micro-epic, 1,000 to 10,000. Ang macro epics naman, dito tayo sa macro epics muna, sa baba. So, kung micro epics maximum niya is 10,000, ang ito namang sa macro epics, yung minimum niya is 50,000. 50,000 plus above. That is a macro epic. Now, let me ask you, what is an example of macro epics based on what we have discussed in the previous videos? And even on the kaka-discuss ko lang ngayon in this video, yung epiko, halimbawa ng isang epiko na may 50,000 lines. Yung longest line, ang longest epic dito sa Philippines, ang Hinilawod from the Panay. Right? So, yeah, Visayan region pa rin yan. So, 53,000 lines po ang ating Hinilawod. So, if 50,000 below, or 10,000 above and 10,000 above, that is, it belongs to the meso-epics, okay? Between micro and macro. So, ito lang iisipin natin, guys. Micro, 10,000 maximum. Macro, 50,000 minimum. Okay? Okay. Ngayon, isa pang feature o mapapansin natin sa isang epiko ay ang kanyang ability to expand and multiformity, or you can see it on different tribes or you can see in a different groups. So, ayan. Oral tradition allows epics to evolve in various versions. So, marami po siyang version. Diba? So, for example, si Mebuyan, isa siyang mythical creature. Hindi mo lang siya matatagpuan sa isang tribo. Maaari mo siyang makita sa ibang tribo. And nakalimutan ko, Mebuyan is Pamulak Manubo. I think makikita mo dyan siya sa tribe na yan, Pamulak Manubo. At saka pa na tribe? Bagobo? Ang kalimutan ko. Basta isa siya sa mga example na nag-e-exist sa iba't ibang tribo. So that's what you call an epic. It is the ability to expand or to have different versions. So number 3, isang katangian ng isang epiko is it is chanted or bulong or sung verse. So kinakantang bawat linya. So perform in rhythmic and poetic forms like. So we have an example here, the Agyo, Manggub, and the Ulabingan. Nakalimot na taon sa mga panani story, no? But don't worry, we will definitely later on malalaman din natin yan. So, syllabic, it means 7 syllables. So, itong, okay. Uh, like, Tagalog, Tanaga, and Mandaya Ambahan. So, take note ha, Tanaga and Ambahan, it's a poetic form. And it has 7 syllables each line. Yan po. 4 lines, 7 syllables each lines. Okay? Tanaga and Ambahan, the same lang yan. Okay, number 4 features ng isang epiko is it has supernatural events and heroic deeds. So, lagi po natin tatandaan, ang central theme po ng isang epiko, it's either may bayani o di kaya mga kapangyarihan. Kagaya ni Nabathala o di kaya ni Nalamang, di ba? That's an epic. Next, number 5 is seriousness of purpose. Ano bang purpose ng isang epiko? So, dito napaloob ang paniniwala ng isang tribo, ang kanilang pamamaraan sa pang-araw-araw na buhay, mga ideal, for example, how they create the universe, and also life values. For example, may isang tribo doon na pinapakita sa isang epiko kung saan kapag marami kang asawa, mapupunta ka sa kanilang paraiso. Kapag wala kang asawa, mapupunta ka sa tinatawag nilang underworld. So, see, there is a life values. Iba-iba yung mga ideals nila. And then other than that, so that's it, no? Series of purpose, last of katangian ng isang epiko. I have another subtopic here with this, the epic performance. So not all epics are performed in groups. So meron din sa mga taga Manobo and Maguindanao, mostly ang kanilang epiko ay pinoperform lang ng isang tao. Okay, single person. It could be the leader, the shaman, or whatever they called it, no? Sa hudhud naman ng Ifugao, women ang nagpa-perform. So, along dyan is may presenter or nagnanarrate ng story, no? Or what they called munbawe. And meron din silang mga backup, di ba? Mga choristers. So, they add embroidered commentary. So, ayan, nagko-commentary din. So, ayan, there are only 2 from Christianized lowland groups na mention natin, which is the Biag ni Lamang and also the Handiong. I think Handiong is the epic that has an influence with the Spanish soldiers ata yun. Yun, as far as I can remember, siya ata yung epiko na may Spanish soldiers. Basta merong mga Christianized lowland groups. So, Biag ni Lamang, that is from the Ifugao, right? No, not the Ifugao. Nakalimutan naman ako. Biag ni Lamang, Lamang Ilocano. I think Ilocano. Mache-check naman natin yung mastery natin sa multiple choices. So, without further ado, let's try to one by one yung story, no? Okay. Let's start with the Wagobo Tuwaang. Now, itong story or epiko nito, it's all about Tuwaang attends a wedding. So, heroism, faith, and honor. So, ito yung journey niya. Let me read it for you. You just have to listen and internalize what I have just said, okay? She receives a message from the wind. Must attend the maiden of Munawon's wedding. Kaninong kasal? Munawon's. Aunt warns of danger, si Tuwaang. But Tuwaang insists on going. Arms himself with harp-shaped armor, blade, dagger, shield, and spear. Basta yung mga weapon niya is heart-shaped. Wow. Rides on lightning and stops at Kaukawangan grassland. Saan na grassland? Kaukawangan. So yun nga, merong message from the wind, pupunta siya kang Munawon's wedding, and then binalaan siya pero tumuloy pa rin siya. Although pumunta siya ng naka-heavy equipment, like weaponized, armado siya, sumakay siya sa isang kidlat, and then naglanding siya sa isang grassland na Kaukawangan. Ngayon, let's proceed to Tuwaang and Gungutan. So, here's a crowing gungutan. So, gungutan is a mythical bird. Hindi po siya tao. Isa siya mythical bird. Now, tries to catch it but realized it has a dagger-like spur. So, Gunguan had a dream of Tuwaang's arrival. They agreed to travel together. So, ayan. Si Tuwang and Gungutan, bali, sabihin lang natin na si Tuwang ay isang Disney prince. No? Meron siyang backup na animal na gurungan. Okay, Gungutan pala, sorry. Arrival at the wedding ngayon, before siya nakapunta sa kasal ni Unawons, ay may nakasama siyang backup dancer niya si Gungutan, isang mythical bird. Ngayon, nakapunta na siya sa lugar ng kasal. Tuwang sits on a golden stool. Gungutan perches on a cross beam. May beam doon siya naglanding. So, young warriors arrive. So, hindi lang si Tuwaang. Meron ding si young man of Panayangan, young man of Liwanon, and young man of the Rising Sun. Panayangan, Liwanon, and Rising Sun. And the groom, yung groom na pakakasalan ni Munawon, ay si young man of Sakadna. Arrives arrogantly with 100 followers. So sabihin natin na si Sakadna, yung pakakasalan ni Munawon, na pinuntahan na kasal ni Tuwaang, para siyang si Aladdin, no? Maraming follower no pagpunta niya kay Jasmine Princess, no? Meron si Sakadna, meron siyang 100 followers. So dito tayo sa before simula ng kasal, no? Mga preliminaries. So bride wealth or sabakan offered. So bale, para siyang dowry galing sa babae. So meron two most valuable gifts na binigay ni Munawon. We have the ancient gong with 10 bosses and 9 relief rings. And then golden flute and golden guitar. Anong klaseng musical instrument na binigay ni Munawon? Flute at saka guitar. At saka ancient gong. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Okay, wait lang. And kung si Munawon ay nagbigay siya ng dowry or bridal gift, si Sadakan ba pangalan? Sakadna pala. Sakadna, yung groom-to-be, is walang binigay. So, ang ginawa ni Tuwaang ay magically produce better versions. So, the bride choice, bali nag-step up si Tuwaang kasi wala siyang binigay sa bride. Yung bride nag-e-effort siya ng ancient gong, 9 rings, may flute at saka guitar pa. Wala siyang binigay. Tapos arrogante siya, may mga 100 followers. Nag-step up si Tuwaang. Ngayon, nag-desisyon si bride. Bride serves areca nut chew or betel nut. So ito ata yung nga or yung mama, no? Yung ningunguya ninyo, tapos inispit nyo pula na. So yun, that is somehow a traditional culture, something or belief ng mga tribe, no? Common yan sa mga taga Maranao at saka sa mga Subanan. Ayan. So bride sits magical nut box serves guest stops before Tuwaang. So bride sits beside Tuwaang. Uy, tumabi siya kay Tuwaang. Tapos napahiya si groom. So, dahil na yung pride ni groom, duel siya kay Tuwaang. So, bride prepares Tuwaang, combing his hair. Ay, doon siya dumapig kay Tuwaang. Kasi ikaw ba naman, bride, nag-effort ka, tapos yung husband to be, wala man lang ginawa. You wouldn't feel, diba? You wouldn't feel special in your special day. So ayun, nakipaglaban si groom kasi siguro yung ego niya na tamaan, no? And only Tuwang and young men of Sakadna remain. So Gungutan fights and kill most of the groomsmen. Yung 100. So di ba nakalimutan niya yung pet niya na si Gungutan, a mythical bird. So pinatay niya yung mga kasamahan ni Sakadna. Kaya natira na lang si Tuwaang at saka si Sakadna, yung groom. Ngayon, yung final battle. Binato niya ng malaking Binato siya ni Sakadna against a boulder, malaking bato, at naging dust si Tuwaang. So trees fall due to their battle, nadamay pati ang mga kahoy. And then groom hurls Tuwaang into the underworld. Ayun. Silang dalawa napunta sa underworld. Now meets Tuhawa, god of the underworld, who reveals the secret to victory. So, victory over Sakatna. Tuwaang surfaces and summons the golden flute, where the groom's life is stored. Offers the groom a chance to be his vassal. And then groom refuses and chooses death. So, no, yung tribe, ayun, nanalo si Tuwaang, di ba? So, makikipagsundo ata si Tuwaang kay groom, pero hindi niya tinanggap. He chose to be dead and leave them sa underworld. Yan ginawa ni Tuwaang, imbes gagamitin niya yung golden flute para mabuhay siya ulit, si Tuwaang giniba niya yung flute at namatay ang groom. So yung ending, ang nakatuluyan niya yung bride at inuwi niya sa kuaman, and then rules forever with gungutan na yung mythical bird with his side. So yun yung story niya. Kaya pala may omen na sinabihan siya ng hangin na pumunta ka sa kasal ni Munawon. Ayun. So yun, may nangyari. Diba? Next, we have the Ulahingan or Ulagingan. So ito yung sa Manobo of North Cotabato na story. So mahaba-haba to. Let's just try to So Nalandangan, ito yung lugar or fortress city. So it is a sacred city loved by the highest god, built by chosen people from Aruman who arrive on huge ship, constructed with massive trees, pillars, needing 8 men to encircle. So grabe no? Grabe yung city nila. Kailangan ng 8 man to encircle it. Yung isang tree lang. So decorated with statues of warriors, deities, and creatures. Ano to? Greek? Greece to? So may golden eagle, may red warriors, may mermaid, and alimugkat locks adorn the fortress. Ganyan hitsura ng Nalandangan. And then, we have the defense and warriors of Nalandangan. So, di ba, kay ganda ng Nalandangan, built with big trees at may mga golden chuchu, o golden eagle, and so on and so forth. Di ba? Oh, yan. Agyu's warriors. Si Agyu ata yung dito, yung main character. So, Agyu's warriors, he has Kuyasu, Seluen, Piglibo, Banlak, at saka Sinibayaw. So, fortifications nito, each warrior has a personal fort. So, meron silang mga yung lamok lang. May mga sila, mga bantay or fort ba? So, yun. Agyu's fort is made of iron and steel with a battle platform for the Saul. So, Agyu, ominous dream. So, meron siyang masamang panaginip. It's all about darkness and destruction. So, hardwood trees uprooted and cliffs turned to dust. His brother Pigyugong dreams of invaders. So, siya nag-dream din about destruction ng kanilang fortress, at ang kanyang kapatid na si Pigyugong ay nanaginip din na inatake sila. Now, let's continue the story of anong tawag nito? Ang dali kong sa Manobo, 'di ba? Manobo, Olagingan. Something like that. Anyway, attack on Nalandangan. So, naging totoo nga. So, Lena is some kind of villain, laughs off the warning, but the invasion begins. So, warriors eagerly prepare for battle. So, Vanlak, one of Agyu's brother, leads the charge. Nebayao is Agyu's son, fights fiercely, burning enemies with his flaming arm. So, siya yung may flame arm na si Nebayao. The darkness turns out to be a magic iron rod disabling Agyu's men. Ay. Patay sila. Ayun. Ito, si Lena. Lena, kakampi to ni Agyu, prepares for the battle. Orioles hover his plume, signs of Diwata's protection. Plume. The magic iron rod warns Lena, then retreats to the sea and attacks again. Rina grapples with the rod and hurls it into space, destroying kingdoms on its way. The rod returns for revenge, but Lena smashed it into pieces with his swords-like limbs. Splintered rod transformed into invading ships. So makapangyarihan tong rod, no? Ano to? Fishing rod? So something magic iron rod na nakalaban ni Lena. And then the invasion and Lena's resistance. So again, fleet arrives led by a mysterious king. Invaders destroy plantations and so on. Lena free captives with a single touch. And then King orders his troops to intimidate Yandang, a thunderous sound. But Lena's people counter with an even louder response. So the Saut War dance the battle. Lena commands the people to perform the Saut War dance before the battle. So para siyang ceremonial dance, no? It's all about war. Warriors of Yandang and invaders clash on the lawn. Enemies retreat but are chased and annihilated into the mountains, in the mountains. The king's defense and Lena's challenge. Ayan, ang haba guys, masakit na yung ulo ko. So ayun, may mga kalaban si Lena. Saan ba ito Hindi na-mention dito si Lena, no? Oh, wala na-mention. But something connected ata siya sa kay Agyu. So, ito yung mga weapons are shattered, smoke rises, and king in the sipa or sky ball. Okay, trap the king. So, Tigyakuwa and Kumugpa's arrival. Tigyakuwa or asawa ni Agyu and their son Kumugpa arrive. She frees Lena with a touch and reveals the king is actually his father. So the king, overwhelmed, realized his many descendants. Okay. May nasabtan ba kayo? May naano ba kayo? So, hindi ko siya masyadong na-gets, no? Ano ba to Ano ba to na Lahingan. So, it's all about Nalandangan Fortress City. Meron sina Agyu. Meron siya mga warriors. Isa dyan yung yung anak niya si Nibeao. And si Tegyekua, asawa ni Agyu. So on and so forth. So, I think if we cannot, we're just here to, we're just here to sorry, may dumaan kasi. We're just here to familiarize. So, at least we know what is Ulagangin is about. So, Agyo, Tigekua, so on and so forth. And now let's proceed with the Diawot or Dawot from the Mansaka or Mandaya. No, so it narrates tribe customs and traditions. Of course, that's what epics for. And then sa heptasyllabic po siya. And then this is the prosaic form, hulubaton. So, like I said, dalawa ang na-mention natin na tribe when it comes to Diawot or Dawot. Una is the mga Mansaka tribe and then the Mantaya tribe. So, sa Mansaka, ang hulubaton nila is prose version of Diawot. When you say prose version, let's just say this is a novel, something like that. And then the Mandaya, hulubaton, epic siya. So, it is sung, it is chanted, so on, so forth. Okay? Okay, yan po ang pagkaiba ng forma or ay, iingay nila. Yan po ang pagkakaiba ng version ng Mansaka at saka Mandaya ng Diawot. So, invocation, before reciting the epic, we have here, bards invoke friendly spirit before reciting. So, they call on with the friendly spirits. And then, not part of the epic, but prevents angering the spirit. So, they pay, what you call this? They pay respect to the spirits. Wait lang, naglolobat ako. So, meron, before sila bago nila inarrate ang isang epiko, guys, itong mga Mansaka at saka Mandaya, gumagawa sila ng something, ritual siguro, or something like that will invoke or will pay respect sa mga espiritu para hindi magalit, no? So, they ask spirit for guidance and musical skill, of course, kasi an epic is being performed, right? It is being performed. So, invokes Alimukon, the balete bird, for pleasant voice sa kakanta nito. And then, mentions Sugan story skipping other parts. So, ito po yung ibig sabihin or story behind Mansaka epic poems or the awot. So, most popular epic ng mga Mansaka is Mangob, di ba? So, it has 15 episode and ano to? Bakit Mangob to? Wait lang ha. So, I think under dito ang Mangob. Ito na siya. Ayun, the out is connected siya sa Mangob. So, again, it has 15 episodes. So, it has features magic objects and creatures like magic necklace, magic sword, fighting shadow, and magic handkerchief. So, tatlo nito ay hindi pang weapon, necklace, shadow, at handkerchief. Yung sword naman is yung weapon. So, they use do ex machina. So, they have 3 gods, si Macau lang, mangaway, at magbuburangin. So, they solve conflicts. So, yung epic hero natin sa Diawat ay si Mangob. Again, sino yung epic hero sa Diawat? Si Mangob. So, ganito ang nangyari kay Mangob. Abandoned at birth, raised by a giant. So, imagine niyo na lang isang batang lalaki at saka isang higante. Now, he finds his parents in Mipandan, but his brother Makaranaos challenge him. So ito si Mangob, di ba pinalaki ng giant? Ngayon na nakita niya ang kanyang totoong pamilya, imbes i-embrace siya, ay dinuwel or challenge siya ng kanyang kapatid na si Makaranos. Makaranos. Leaves behind a vine. If it weathers, Mangob is dead. Returns as a Bagani or warrior to warn of tribal war. Battles in Konogkogan to save his kidnapped sisters. Then marriage and tribal peace. He marries Masadya after tricking Tibay, which is the villain, and then peace is restored by intertribal marriage. So, bali, para siyang guys, a summary, no? Una is na challenge siya ng kanyang kapatid. Ngayon, may nakalaban siya. He went to a war and then meron siyang iniwan na isang vine na kapag namatay ang vine, ibig sabihin patay na siya sa pakikitima. Pero ang nangyari, bumalik siya as a warrior or Bagani, and then he warns of a tribal war. And then, nagkaroon na naman ng isang battle sa Konogkogan, and na-save niya ang kanyang mga kapatid na babae. So yun, later on, napagkasal siya kay Masadya, tinalo niya si Tibay, and then intertribal marriage. That is for the Mangob. There are also another version of Mangob epic story. So, Mangob, Golden Top, gets thrown into the forest. So, tinapon daw siya sa kagubatan. Bumalik siya with supernatural forces. Bumalik siya at kinalaban niya ang mga supernatural forces. Halimbawa na dyan yung bagyo at kinuha niya ang power nito ni bagyo or typhoon. Ni crocodile, at saka ginawa niya ang papangig nito or ang kanyang jaw ng crocodile into an island and lake. At saka pinatay din niya ang isang higante para same lang din sa unang version para isave ang kanyang mga kapatid na babae. Sa Mansaka naman, di ba Mandaya to? Mandaya ba to? Mansaka pa rin. So Mansaka, Babarawon. So, we're going to talk about the cosmogony of this Mansaka version or Mansaka tribe. So, the creation myth is Taganlang creates the world from kneaded soil. Ano yung kneaded soil? So, just imagine, you cannot knead a dry soil, right? So, you have to need something that is somehow solid but closer enough to, or wet or soft enough kneadable enough. Yung na-need ba? Imagine a dough. So it's a clay soil, di ba? First human made from kasile and bangoy wood. Ano po yung kasile? It's an eel. Everybody, Mansaka, they created the first human as a part of eel and then bangoy wood. Yun po ang kasangkapan upang mabuo ang isang tao according to the Mansaka tribe. Ngayon naman, meron ding baha myth. So there was a great flood. Okay? Na-wipe out lahat except sa isang buntis na babae na nakatira sa Kandaraga Mountain. Noong nanganak siya, yung anak niya ay naging asawa niya. They repopulate the earth. So, bali, di ba, napuntis siya. Pero, ang natira lang, hindi natira, ito kasi, natira, walang natira, siya lang. So, nagkataon buntis siya, tapos nagkataon lalaki anak niya, sila naman dalawa sa bundong ibabaw na ito, sila na yung nagtoy. Just ko, Lord Jesus. Anyway, yeah, that's their version, di ba? Mahilig sila sa incest noon eh. And yeah, so we have the goddess Ibol, a ruler of the dead. Sige, underworld na tayo. Malapit na tayo matapos sa Mindanao tribes, guys. Or Mindanao epics. Bukas or mamaya Spanish colonization na tayo. Anyway, spills wine. Sino yung nag-spills ng wine? Ano ba yan? See? Ang hirap kasi ng pangalan niya. Ibol. Nag-spill siya ng wine, tapos nalason ang sapa. So her knife falls into the ground, pulling her down to Bilibulan. So ganun siya naging goddess or ruler of the world. So nahulog yung kutsilyo na, hinila siya pababa. So yun. Another Mansaka folktales, guys, is the Babatukon or human. So tales passed down with expressive storytelling. So, often start with, once upon a time. Para siyang Para siyang lulubas yang. So, yun. So, tales passed down with expressive. Yan ang babatukon or human. So, wala naman tayong ibang babatukan, no? Kundi kapwa tao lang din natin. So, babatukon. Yun na lang yung keyword natin. Okay, another famous folktales from the Mansaka tribes. We have famous folktales or the Kimod and Swan Maiden. So, shared with Mandaya. Again Mansaka at saka Mandaya, they have somehow similar stories. So, Tinampikan is a lesson on tradition. So, newlywed should live with the husband's family before moving out. So, kailangan tumira ka sa inyong mother-in-law. Now, Tinampikan moves out early. Yun nga, hindi niya kinaya yung pamilya ng asawa niya. No? And dahil doon, na-choke siya on banana and dies. Okay. Grabe, no? Grabe talaga. Okay, so, hindi pala nasali natin yung bantugan, no? Hindi natin nasali ang bantugan. At saka yung dagoy and sudsud, guys, wala talaga ako nahanap niyan. Ulaging or uwaging, similar lang siya sa ulagingin. Okay? Ulagingin at saka ulaging ng mga Bukidnon. Sa Manobo at saka sa Bukidnon, ulaging ay similar lang po sa Bukidnon. So, start tayo sa Subanen mamaya, and then Maranao, Maguindanao, at saka Sulu. Hindi pwedeng hindi natin sila i-discuss because Bidasari, Indarapatra, Bantugan, and Darangan are very, 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 very popular epics in the Philippines. Kasi bakit epic sila? Sila yung mga sila yung somehow na-retrieve talaga yung story nila and na preserve nila ng mabuti. So yun, I have to cut this short muna because I have to prepare the notes. Nakalimutan kong ilagay. And again, see you soon on the next video, the continuation of Subanon Epics, Maranao, Maguindanao, and Sulu. So thank you everyone for studying with me. See you soon and bye-bye.